everyone, I'm Jenny Robertson, founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine. I'm here to share the speaker portion of our Connections Over Coffee gathering of the On Purpose Woman Global Community. Kim Wells Eley is speaking on Keeping Your Spark. Specializing in personal development books and thoughtful children's books is the mission of Kim Wells Eley's company, KWE or KWE Publishing. The common thread of both is to help people see what's possible and shift to a more enjoyable, fulfilled life. As a writing coach and publishing consultant, Kim gives clients 6 steps to make their books a reality. Kim is happily married to her BFF and has been for over 20 years. She's a speaker, an author, a resident of Prince George, Virginia, a cat lover, a collector of orchids, and she gets all of her news from comedy channels. So Kim, take it away.
Raise your hand if you ever start projects feeling on fire. And keep them up if you later find yourself completely burned out. Yes, lots of us. And guess what? You are not alone. So a Gallup poll taken in January 2020 showed that more than 7,500 full-time employees experience burnout. 23% of those workers said that they felt burned out more often than not. An additional 44% reported feeling burned out sometimes. And that was before COVID. So many of us are feeling worn out by the same old, same old. I want you to know that it is really normal to feel this way. Cut yourself some slack if you're feeling burnt out. So today I want to share with you 5 perhaps surprising ways you can keep your spark going, even if you feel like a burnt ember. I call these the 5 B's. So the very first one, our first B, is the buddy system. Have your friends at the ready who uplift, support, and light you up. So you all know we feel energy from one another, right? I always feel such positive energy when I come into these OPW meetings. Yeah. And you also know that there can be negative energy. Some people will just suck the whole energy out of your system. Avoid those people. The people you want to spend time around are the ones who are your friends, who lift you up, the ones who cheer you on, who you know are going to make you laugh, smile. Heck, when we were in our breakout room, Barbara had shared with us that she was having a frustrating day. And then she said, you know what? I decided to join this meeting and laugh and connect with other empowering women. Boom. The buddy system. You need to have people in your life who you know you can turn and count on when you are feeling burnt out to make you laugh. As you were saying, Lilia, let's all lighten up, right? Having that levity, having that laughter, having a chance to share a funny story with a friend, even just to vent and then go, that's over. So that's our first B. First B for preventing burnout and keeping your spark is the buddy system. All right. Are we ready for number 2? Second B is boundaries. And guess what? You are allowed to say no. I know you've heard that before, but do you practice it every day? Do you have people who come into your life and say, Jenny, I just need this one thing. Can you help me out with this? And you really know you should say no, but you say yes anyway? Raise your hand if you do that. Yeah, I think we all do that, right? Remember, have boundaries. We were talking during our breakout group about things that light us up on the inside and things we'd like more of. Sometimes the things that we have in our life is too many good things. It's a great problem to have. We still need to say no, because if we spread ourselves too thin, we're going to get burned out. It's inevitable. Even when you're doing things you really love to do, it can be too much. And even though we are so thankful if we have an abundance of wonderful things to choose from, we still need to say no to some. It's really hard to do, right? It's so much easier for me to say this than it is to do it. But in light you up, the things that resonate with your soul, make sure that you are saying yes to those and saying no to the others. All right. Are we ready for number 3? Woohoo! Number 3B is balance. All right. So I want to tell you something that all of us have, and I want you to picture this along with me, okay? So if you want, you can hold out your hands the way I am and picture on one hand, you have a little version of you, and that little version of you is your wild child. And you know what she wants to do? Anything she wants. She wants to do what she wants to do. When she's hungry, she's hangry. You better feed her now. And she wants what she wants when she wants it. On the other hand, we have a little you, but this is your little inner dictator. She's standing up straight, and you better believe she is at attention. And she is telling you, you have stuff on your to-do list. And what do you mean you're going to take a day off? And what do you mean, Shelly, you're going to go walking by the waterfall? You have things to do, girlfriend. That's your inner dictator. We need to find a balance between these two little versions of ourselves, right? Because your inner wild child is just itching to be creative and expressive and do the things that you really want to do. Your inner dictator is like, we have a to-do list, honey, and we better check off everything on that list. The balance between the two is what we want to achieve. If we pay too much attention to our inner dictator, sure, we're getting things done, but we're not feeling real good. We're like, oh, I'm miserable. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm depleted. If we do too much of the wild child, well, nothing gets done and nobody's happy with that. We need to find the balance between the two. And here's the secret about the inner wild child and your inner dictator. Both of them have your best interest in mind. It's finding that balance and ultimately deciding, you know what? I need a little more wild child in my life today and a little less dictator. Thank you very much. All right. So make sure to put events on your schedule that rejuvenate you. You know, do something that relaxes you. I mentioned during our breakout room that I started scheduling something called a spark day. I'm so excited about this. So a spark day is a day that's a day off. It is not a day off with my husband because I love him madly, but even when I'm with him, there's still little work that I'm doing, right? I have to always, you're in a relationship. It's a lovely thing to compromise. Sometimes my inner wild child needs a day where there is no compromising. My inner wild child took a spark day last Friday, and I decided I needed a massage and I needed a trip to the local thrift store where I bought six beautiful outfits for $47. I felt like a goddess. I came out of there feeling gorgeous and looking sharp and still had money to treat myself to dinner. So make sure you schedule those times, have those boundaries, and respect them for yourself. So I want you to raise your hand if you have ever scheduled a fun activity for yourself and then a client or somebody else needed you and you broke that appointment. Yeah, right? We're not feeling real good about ourselves. In the moment, our inner dictator is like, good for you, hard worker, do your thing. But your inner wild child is really let down, right? And later on, you might feel like, good golly, I know for myself, I've been on like 7 Zoom meetings in a row with clients. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I love meeting with my clients, but I'm not scheduling any time to re-spark myself, to rejuvenate. I end up at the end of the day feeling like a wet dish rag, and that's not good for anybody. All right. Are y'all ready for the 4th B? Woohoo! This one is one that always gets me going, and this is your badass playlist. All right. All of us have something some music, something that just absolutely pumps us up. We could be having the worst day ever. The dog ran away, had a car crash, and everything's awful. And then all of a sudden, it's my song. You just have to get excited when you hear this song. I want you to, every time that happens to you, write down that song. I've been known to be at the grocery store and start jamming out. Okay, it's not very pretty, but it happens. Write down that song. I have a whole list. I call it Raw. It's rockin' always with me. And so my Raw playlist is what I go to. It absolutely pumps me up when I am having a terrible day. And you know what? It also does something else. Having those songs at the ready means that I am being aware that I am feeling burned out, right? I'm identifying that to myself saying, oh, snap, I need the badass playlist. This is that moment. Have that awareness of yourself. Take your pulse every so often. I love being in motion, but being a type A person, I can be in motion so much and give and give and give that I don't realize that my tank is on empty. So being aware and going, you know what? It is time for some Spice Girls. I'm not proud of that, but it's true. To pump you up. And the last B is one that I use frequently. With very clean hands, put your finger to your lips and go. Seriously, do something to shake up your routine. There we go. I love you guys. That's perfect. Do something that just absolutely snaps you out of what you're in. I loved what you were talking about, Pam, with being on autopilot. I think we all get on autopilot. One of the best pieces of advice I remember hearing was from Tony Robbins. And he was talking about doing something that shakes up your routine. He said it could be something small, like I think his example was sit and smile at the ceiling, something you would never do. It breaks up your mental juju, and it just sort of gets those cobwebs swept out. And it's like, oh, okay, let's be silly. Let's lighten up, as you said, Lilia. I love it. So what I want to do right now is I want to have y'all interact and share with all of us, what do you do when you are feeling burned out? So anybody, if you want to hop on in, Jenny.
Kim, I just want to ask, would the group like me to turn off the camera now and have this discussion, or do you want to do it on camera? Unmute yourself and tell me what you want to do, everybody.
Doesn't matter to me.
Off
Either's
camera.
fine.
Off camera. So I heard one off camera, so we're going to go off camera. Okay. So let me just wrap up here, Kim, and say my little closing things. I want to thank anyone who watched this live or is watching the replay. If you'd like to join us for one of our 11 free Zoom gatherings a month, or an in-person in Richmond or Charlottesville, Virginia, comment below and I'll tell you how to do that. Or you can also go to my website, opwgc.com, and find out all about our community. Before I end this live, though, I'd like for everybody to unmute yourself. We're going to clap for Kim. So this video will have all of us clapping, and shouting and telling Kim what a great job that she did for us. Woo! So thank you so much, Kim. Let me end this video here.